So 1 week and 1 day of the Barcelona race gone, and the leaders are well south of the Canary Islands. Hugo Boss leading last night and still ahead probably this morning. Gaius in that more westerly position, and back at the fleet still Spirit of Hungary in decent breezes, making good progress. Hugo Boss then were leading yesterday as they approached or converged with the African coast. Gaius forced to jibe away earlier, taking to the west first. Now watching Chemney Pujala cross in front of Neutrogena to confirm their second place. Neutrogena not too far behind. Renault, meantime, sailing their own race, and last night jibing away from the African coast to make it to the west. One Planet, One Ocean, now through the Canary Islands, and Spirit of Hungary quite far back, but approaching the Canary Islands just now with good speeds. At the front, then, as we approach the Cape Verdes, we're very much downwind. It's a battle to prepare a strategy through the islands. Gaius coming down from the west and just behind Neutrogena and Hugo Boss and Chemney Pujala. But it's very close. It's going to be interesting to see who gets through the Cape Verde Islands first. So this morning's rankings slightly skewed because the direct course to the Cape of Good Hope is well to the east down the African coast, and so boats to the east and closer to that course are perceived to have a benefit. But Gaius Centros Auditivus looking like they will get down through the Cape Verde Islands in first. Certainly it's going to be very close. Meantime, Chemney Pujala are certainly behind Hugo Boss just now. So I'd have Hugo Boss in second, Chemney Pujala third, and very close with the Neutrogena. For sure though, Renault Capture in fifth at 96 miles behind the leaders. One Planet, One Ocean, 206 miles behind. We Are Water in seventh, and Spirit of Hungary 650 miles behind, but making a steady 9 knots today.
Hello everybody, 8th day of race, we are the 8th of January. And let's have a look at the general situation. We have 6 of our 8 boats sailing in the trade winds, and 2 others sailing in the north of the trade winds, and they are going to enter in the trade winds in the next hours. So on the more west of the fleet, we have We Are Water, who is trying to sail in the west in order to catch these trade winds 20 knots. And Spirit of Hungary, who is leaving this area along the coast without wind, and he's going sailing west to catch the wind. For the other 6 boats, they're in the trade winds between 20, 25, 30 knots of wind. The more you go south, the more you have wind. So the question of today is, are we going to sail through the Cape Verde, or are we going to sail west of it? So the interesting thing is that the more west you are, the more wind you will have. But the more west you go, the longer will be the course. So that will be the question of today. And if we have a look at the situation tonight at 7 p.m. So that's the situation tonight. The boat will be in this area. The question will be there, here, or there, and that they are working on it. If they come here, they will have more wind, and the situation is quite stable here with 25, 30 knots of wind all along this area. If you go through the island, you have a bit less wind when you will be in the middle of the island, and when you will quit the island, we also have less wind. So if you go through the island, you have a shorter course, but also less wind. And the question is also, what will be the condition tomorrow morning? So we will see that now. That's the situation in 24 hours. And if we have a look at it, we have more wind in the west side than the east side. So that's why perhaps if you go west now, you can try to catch the northeasterly wind here faster than if you go through the Cape Verde Island. So today it's a real question about, should I go west, should I go south now, and what is going to happen tomorrow? Because it's also the question of what's going to happen in 4 days, because in 4 days they will reach equator. And do you prefer to reach the equator coming from the west or coming from the east?
We knew from the beginning it's going to be 3 boats in I think, in the beginning, and as well the options they were not really open in tactical wise. So all the they were more or less doing the same. We have the same softwares, we have the same weather information, so it's normal we are together. Later on, probably after the south trade, there's going to be more open the race. There's going to be as well someone is going to push the board harder than the other one, and then it's going to be more split a bit.
All right. You went through the Canary Islands. Do you think it was a right decision?
Well, as I say before, we have the same information, the same weather softwares and routing software. So more or less we know what's going to happen, especially because we're in the same in the same place, all the boats. And I saw was one option to go between the African coast and Canary Island. But I thought I see Hugo Boss driving on 4, so I knew he's going to do this thing. But for us, I think it was more conservative to be with the fleet. And I think he doesn't gain too much. He gains a little bit.
So still brisk trade wind conditions for the leaders. Guillermo Altadil said the crossed seas were making it a little bit unpleasant, but still have 25 knots just under. Breeze is likely to get lighter once they get down through or past the Cape Verdes. Gaius leading towards the Cape Verdes, looking like they will route through the islands, and Hugo Boss, Gemini Pujala and Neutrogena perhaps going to the west. Otherwise, breeze is lighter at the back for Spirit of Hungary, Nandor Fa and Conrad Coleman making about 9 knots. I'm afraid things are not going to improve terribly for them. Looking at what's going to happen further south, then the breezes will get lighter, but we're looking like a good pace all the way to the equator, slightly lighter into the final phase, but still looking at maybe 10 knots through the doldrums, not too bad at all.
You are receiving a lot of positive words about your race, so are you surprised about that?
Yeah, a little bit, because we didn't know that at the beginning we can be at the same speed as the boat in front. This is it's a surprise for us, but once we saw that, we continue like that. We are not going to stop, and we are not going to give a present to each other. So unless nothing happens, we are trying to deal with the front of the fleet all the time. But we are going to use a lot of our brains. We don't want to crash or we want to finish the race for sure. Course and be on the front, so we are going to take care.
And what's your routine like?
And the routine is very easy because it's 3 hours on, 3 hours off, and then we sleep 3 hours, we work 3 hours, and we eat when we can, and nothing more. I've been pretty stressful since the beginning. We hope to have some grounds in the doldrum to rest a little bit. These last days have been quite stressful.
Anna, can you change the camera? Can we see Gerard on board?
Yeah.
Thanks. So how do you make the decisions on board?
Yeah, the decisions we talk and we decide. It's easy because we have the same objective, so we talk a lot, and we never take a decision like in 5 minutes. We think, we talk, and then normally we agree. For the moment, we agree all the time, so it's not a problem.
So the leader's still in good, strong trade winds, around about 20 knots, up to 25. Will get lighter slightly as they come down through the Canary Islands. A little bit of a state of flux for the leaders in terms of the ranking, but the tracker shows that Gaius Centris Auditivas probably have a narrow lead as they head down towards the Cape Verde Islands. They're looking like they will come through the middle of the islands. Meantime, it's Hugo Boss, Chimney Pujala and Neutrogena pushing out to the west just now, and they may indeed go right round the outside, round the west. We'll only know that this afternoon. Gaia Centris Auditivos really going quite well. They took the initiative yesterday, probably a little bit slower, and in the downwind conditions, therefore they jibed out to the west earliest, and they've kind of been setting the pace in terms of the phase that they're sailing, but they're going well, and we spoke with Anna and Gerard today.
Estem aquí a l'escala, és on jo visc i practico tot tipus d'esports, des del caiac, el pàdel, el surf, etc. I avui us anirem a pescar amb un bot que em vaig fer l'any passat i avui fa un bon dia que ens ho passem bé. Sempre m'ha agradat fer coses aquestes, o petites bogeries. El 2007, per exemple, em vaig construir un mini trànsit i vaig fer la regata, vaig arribar al Brasil. El caiac o un bot és una feina més assequible i també passo hores a vegades avorrides, l'hivern és molt llarg i m'atures d'aquesta manera. Realment aquí es pesca poquíssim i com dius tu és bastant avorrit, però al final també és un moment relaxant de sortir a navegar per l'escala, vull dir, hi ha moments que vols evadir i això és una bona manera, no? Aquí tenim una vida a l'hivern bastant calmada i a l'estiu és bastant estressant en aquest sentit perquè està ple de gent. Però aquí em sento molt a gust, perquè puc practicar tot tipus d'esports, puc anar amb bici, puc anar amb caiac, puc gaudir del mar, i això per mi això no té preu. És un bon canvi, al final, ostres, tenir una criatura, jo una persona que feia moltes activitats, que tenia molt de temps lliure i que m'agradava moltes coses, i ara quan ha vingut la Jana tot aquest temps s'està esvaint, però també és bonic, al final és una cosa diferent, que fa molta il·lusió. És molt nerviosa, la veritat és que quan està jalant és molt impacient, en aquest sentit s'assembla a mi. Bitxu?